How does your company create value for customers? You must do something well if you have customers that keep coming back and paying you for something. Value is created by using your resources and capabilities to do something that your customers want from you. The very best capabilities that you have create a competitive advantage for you. And these are the ones that we call competencies or core competencies. However, competencies won't last forever, or these competitive advantages don't last forever. For example, think of Kodak. They used to be the top company for creating film-based cameras that pretty much everybody had to document their vacations and birthday parties. These cameras were replaced by digital cameras, which were mostly not made by Kodak. And now we don't even use those, we just use our phones. The source of value is different now. So let's talk about another company whose value was replaced. The Collins Manufacturing Company created excellent value with its two-wheeled buggies in the late 19th century. They imported steel from Norway, they used high-quality hickory and woven cane seating. The buggies that Collins created were awesome. Collins made carriages, buggies, sleighs, and they even specialized in carriage springs and axles. This is great value for lots of customers. But Collins isn't known for much of anything now. The value they once created is no longer valuable in the market. Henry Ford and others helped replace the horse and buggy with automobiles. In fact, the Collins Manufacturing Building, now known as the Commercial Exchange Building in Jackson, Michigan, later housed early automobile manufacturers. It housed the companies that ended up replacing it. So how does this value creation work? Here is a generic 5-step value chain. We start off with inbound logistics, then we have operations, outbound logistics, sales and marketing, and then follow-up service. Collins Manufacturing brought in steel, hickory, and other materials. This was their inbound logistics. Operations was actually making those carriages. The final product had to be transported to customers. This is outbound logistics. They would have had some sales and marketing to be able to attract customers that wanted to buy their products. Collins would also have had some kind of follow-up service. This could have consisted of things like providing aftermarket parts like wheels or axles to customers that needed to repair or maintain their buggies over time. Value chains may look extremely different based on different companies and different industries. So I want to go through a few of these examples. In auto manufacturing, inbound logistics will include things like bringing in the steel, glass, plastic, computer chips, and all of those things that have to be transported in for them to be able to make their cars. Operations is the actual automobile manufacturing, putting all of these things together. Outbound logistics, you've definitely seen cars being shipped to dealerships. Marketing and sales has a few different parts. Traditionally, automobiles have been sold through dealerships. You know who your local dealers are that you hear on the radio all the time. And also the manufacturers themselves, the national or international brands, provide marketing to raise awareness and get people interested in their vehicles. And then there is follow-up service. At the dealership, you'll have warranties. They take care of repairs. You can buy aftermarket parts that are actually provided by the original manufacturer. These are the primary activities in an automobile manufacturer's value chain. But sometimes you have to modify this a little bit. Boeing, an airplane manufacturer, has a very similar value chain. They bring in materials, they manufacture the airplanes, but for this company, sales actually comes first. To create a value chain for Boeing, I would start with the marketing and sales. They want to have every plane contracted before it's built because they're so expensive. They have to know that there's actually a customer there ready to buy it. Then they will bring in the materials that are used to manufacture the plane. This is their inbound logistics. Their operations consist of actually making the plane and taking it all the way through painting and everything that they do there. As a side note, this is the Boeing manufacturing plant in Everett, Washington. It is the largest building in the world by volume. If you ever get the chance to take a tour of this facility and see the Boeing operations in person, it's really fascinating. So after those planes are manufactured, after the operations, then comes outbound logistics. Now this looks a little bit different than the automobiles. The airlines that are buying the planes will send a pilot and they come in and they do some test flights and make sure that the planes are working as they should. And then the outbound logistics really is just those pilots flying them to their destination so they can be put into service. And then Boeing does have follow-up service where they provide some support and parts and things to make sure that those planes are able to operate as they should for decades to come. But just like we could change the order a little bit for Boeing compared to an auto manufacturer, if we were to look at other value chains, they could look very different. I used to run a window washing business. It's part of how I paid my way through school. It wasn't a very complicated business. It was really just me washing windows. But the value chain for that one also started off with sales and marketing, which really was me using printed flyers and knocking doors. And there was also some word of mouth. Then my inbound logistics was almost nothing. I did have to go to the store and buy a few things, but there wasn't really a big process there. The main thing for me, of course, was operations, actually washing those windows and serving my customers and interacting with them. Outbound logistics were not applicable. I didn't send anything anywhere. So I would actually just skip outbound logistics for my window washing business if I were putting a value chain together. It didn't exist. Follow-up service I did have. I guaranteed to my customers that their windows would be clean, and if they wanted to call me back and if they saw something in the next week or two that needed to be cleaned, give me a call and I'll come back and take care of it. Luckily, I never actually had someone take me up on that, but I was willing to do that, and I made sure that they knew that I stood behind my work. I also would contact former customers a year later when their windows would be dirty again and just say, hey, do you want me to come back and take care of that? It's a little bit of follow-up service, but it's also getting right back into the sales and marketing. Some of those things can actually support each other. Washing windows is a service-based business, and the value chain may look different in a service-based business than a manufacturing business or a retail business. So as you're putting a value chain together for any company, you need to look at the activities that they do that actually create value for their customers and see how they fit together. What does the order look like? What are the steps? What are the activities and resources necessary to put that value chain together? In these primary value chain activities, we do the work that our customers are actually looking for. We provide the value that our customers want to buy. But there's more. See, a couple of weeks ago, I was shopping at the store and I realized that that store had the best accounting department I had ever heard of. And so I bought some extra bananas. Of course, I'm kidding. I don't actually buy more things because of an accounting department. However, there are other activities that are necessary to support these primary value-creating activities, and we're going to talk about a few of these as well. These include things like human resources, accounting and finance, information systems, procurement, engineering, and others. The human resource department is responsible for hiring the people that interact with customers, for hiring the people that do the operations, or that manage those inbound logistics or follow-up service. These activities are extremely important, but you have to have people to do them. Human resource, or the HR department, is in charge of taking care of that. Most customers don't think about the accounting and finance department of the companies that they visit, but those departments are still very important for the success of those companies. In a corporate finance department at a major US-based retailer, I helped stores to create budgets that they needed to operate, and then I would help to track the results of those. This was to help keep our costs in check, to keep our costs low and be able to provide a lower cost for our customers. Walmart has used advanced inventory accounting systems to increase their efficiency. And by increasing their efficiency, they're able to keep their costs down, which of course supports their business strategy of providing a low cost to their customers. Other accounting and finance capabilities may not directly affect customers, but they are still important to the support and success of the company. Information systems are another support activity that helps the company to succeed. Gap Incorporated, which consists of Gap, Old Navy, Athleta, and Banana Republic, uses information systems to track customer loyalty points across all 4 of those store brands. You can buy something at one of those stores and you will have loyalty points that you could then use at any of those other stores. This takes information systems to support that. Airlines use information systems to plan and to track their flights. Amazon, of course, uses information systems as the backbone of Amazon.com. In fact, they got so good at information systems that they started selling their information systems as Amazon Web Services, which has become another, I guess, a side business, but a very valuable side business for Amazon. Customers may not interact with all information systems, of course they do with Amazon, but those information systems support the value creation that customers come for. Support activities are not directly related to customers, but they do support the primary activities that create value that customers actually care about. Human resources, accounting and finance, information systems, they help to support inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, marketing and sales, and follow-up service. Now, I want you to create a simple value chain for your company. What resources and activities are necessary to create that primary value? Are there any support activities that are particularly unique in your company that you can use that help to support your company better? You will build your company's strategy around the value-creating activities that you do best. I hope you like this video. Have a wonderful day.